My talk is about the new Europass, what we have been doing and what we will be doing. And I can tell you that also within the European Commission and in the unit, what I'm working in the skills unit, of course, the new Europass is a big project that demands a lot of our time, a lot of our devotion. And we were also happy that after there was the decision in 2018, finally on the 1st of July, the Europass portal was launched. And we think that also in the current context, the Europass portal can play an important role, and especially also in relation to digital learning, and that also it has a role in the context of the new challenges that we have across Europe. Of course, COVID-19 touching everybody, but also in Europe, there is the challenge to go for the digital transition, the green transition, and also part of this is the digitalization of learning. What is also important to keep in mind in this context is that Europass was launched on the 1st of July. Also, the skills agenda, the European skills agenda with a skills agenda with actions presented for the next 5 years was also adopted on the same date. And the skills agenda is more the political, gives political guidance and focused on strengthening competitiveness, ensuring social fairness, so nobody should be left behind, and also to build resilience, because crisis, we are facing this now, we have to get through this crisis, and to achieve these objectives, there is a must to have lifelong learning for everybody, must be a reality for all in Europe. And Europass is indeed the European tool that was put in place in order to support lifelong learning. So Europass is the European tool to manage your skills and plan your career and learning. And as already Eduard Staudecker said, it is really a lot focus on individuals, but I will come to that. It also contains a lot of information for, also for stakeholders. So in Europass for end users, it will offer, first of all, a free online profile to highlight skills, qualifications, and experiences. This is available free of charge. It's available in 29 different languages, and it's a public service that is offered. There is no profit or whatever type of interest behind Europass. And this, I think, is this is also the reason why the Commission pursued with Europass, because it's a neutral tool at the disposal of individuals. It will contain also self-assessment tools. We are working on this now, in particular on digital skills, and it will contain and it will offer also suggestions for job and learning possibilities. An important point in Europass is that compared to the old Europass, individuals can create a profile and can in that profile also have full control of their personal data. So they are really the masters of what happens with their data. What we will work upon is the possibility to reuse data, autofill applications. This already exists for the CV, and we also will work on digital credentials. Now, basically, Europass has 3 components. The first one is the e-portfolio. So the part focused on the individual, and this is replacing the old CV, but the e-portfolio has been adapted and is the tool that is fit, we think, for the digital age. Secondly, and this is completely new and this didn't exist before, Europass has an infrastructure for digital credentials. This was started, and this follows the development of the fact that more and more qualifications will be issued digitally to individuals, and through Europass, individuals can also store their credentials, and this infrastructure allows to issue credentials. And then thirdly, Europass also is an information portal. Now, I will come back to these 3 components. in the e-portfolio, there is a CV editor. Also, it proposes different types of cover letters that are suggested. You can also manage your skills in Europass. So it is also a tool that allows individuals to reflect on their skills, to reflect on their interests, and also to write down aspirations. And it has always been a tool in the past as a CV module to document skills. But the new Europass goes much further, is a much broader tool to manage your career. And you can also indicate in that e-profile what are your career goals, your learning goals, and what are your mobility goals. And the new Europass will offer, but for this we depend, of course, on having enough information in Europass, but it can offer suggestions for jobs. So it will be connected with the EURES portal, and so vacancies that are part of public employment services will also become available for Europass users as job suggestions. These will be done on the basis of skills. And in this context, also ESCO, the European classification of skills, plays a role, because that classification will be used through artificial intelligence as a tool to offer job suggestions that fit the skills profile. The same will go for courses, learning opportunities. In the future, there will be more information on skills intelligence in Europass, which is also important for career guidance counselors. What is also important in the Europass, if you use the e-portfolio as a learner or as a worker, it doesn't matter, you can store all your different credentials in Europass, and we expect more credentials to become digital, and from there the individual really is the master and has access to his or her learning credentials anywhere and at any time. Secondly, the Europass digital credentials that I already talked about. So here, through the Europass infrastructure, we aim to set a European standard by creating a European framework that allows to issue secure and also tamper-proof credentials in a digital format. Yeah. So, and this security avoids the possibility of having diploma mills in this context. So we have designed the infrastructure in such a way that this is avoided also through a digital signature. And the digital credentials infrastructure will, in first instance, focus on qualifications. 18 countries, including Austria, are currently piloting Europass digital credentials. It is supposed to be a flexible and comprehensive tool, verifiable, reliable. In the longer term, also, the infrastructure would allow, for example, for employer declarations and play a role in supporting also documentation on validation of non-formal and informal learning. And what it does is to support the issuing of credentials, but also storing credentials in the e-portfolio. And also, when that is done, individuals can share their and I'm now sharing of their credentials. We're also working on another topic that I don't address so much now. That's a topic of micro-credentials, also one action of the Europass, of the skills agenda, where also we think that Europass can play a role in the future. Okay, this is just an example of a concrete diploma created through the infrastructure, but the infrastructure can also operate, of course, in other ways. This is just one example. And you see on the left, the different issues that are mentioned, that are verified: the organization, the credential owner, the achievements, activities, verification, signature, etc., which you will find back on the diploma, and that includes also the EQF level and the national qualifications level. A third component of Europass is information for stakeholders, and since the 1st of July, as Eduard Staudecker already said, the Europass portal is also the portal of the European Qualifications framework. So all information on, for example, referencing reports of national frameworks to the EQF, but also links to national frameworks, links to national database registers or databases, qualifications registers or databases. This is all available on Europass. And also Europass will, and is already doing this for 12 countries, will interconnect national registers and databases for qualifications. So they will be, all these national databases will be connected, and the information will be visible at European level and also useful for e-portfolio users. Europass will further contain recognition information on qualifications. It will also contain information on validation, or it does already, but we have to further improve that information. Digital credentials, I already mentioned, and also the Europass supplements, the diploma supplement, the certificate supplement, Europass mobility, all this will be available, of course, and is available on Europass. And for the certificate supplement, we have to work a bit on this and get to a better digitization, but all these inventories are also accessible through Europass, and also career guidance information is there, and I have a slide on this. A last point, very important in the context of Europass, is information on interoperability, because Europass was designed as a tool also for interoperability, so it can connect with all kinds of other tools. More in particular for the world of career guidance, because I think today among the participants there are many people from the field of guidance. Europass also contains in its information a dedicated page on guidance and counseling, and this provides access to European level services, but also access to country specific information. There are links with the inventory on guidance of CDFOP, but also the Euro Guidance website. And now my last slide, Europass in the future. So Europass was launched, the portal, on the 1st of July. Okay, this was a very important milestone. But as always, this was the end of a long process of preparing the launch, but also the beginning of the new Europass. And the new Europass beginning, I mean, not everything is yet there that should be there. And for example, our aspiration is to have all databases of qualifications interconnected, all national databases also on training opportunities, to have also those interconnected. We are not yet there, but we are working on this. And we hope that we have more countries connected. Secondly, we want in this context also have better quality information. Now, concrete actions we are working on now within the Commission is we're developing an application tracker. We are also seeking how we can better include information in Europass on skills intelligence, and how to make that also useful in the context of Europass services. And the skills intelligence information, for example, is also present at the agency in Thessaloniki in Greece on the development of vocational education and training. They have developed a skills online vacancy tool, that provides real-time information on skills trends. Now, that information we want to have also in Europass. We will further roll out the digital credentials part. We will further work on guidance content. And of course, on content regarding guidance, we very much depend on information that we are getting from the national level. And the same goes in this context also for validation of prior learning. We are concretely, or we will start concretely working about digital skills, self-assessment tool, based on DigCom, so the Digital Competence Framework. And yeah, we will further work on the interoperability mechanism and also upgrade the CV editor and the cover letter editors. So a lot of work. And as what I would like to say also, and this was also said by Mr. Kesselbauer at the beginning, Europass is really, yeah, an important tool for cooperation. There is a European level, there is a national level. Only when everybody is working on this together in a good way, we can make this a success. It is already a success. Europass is one of the most used and visited European websites. We had 6 million users since the launch so far. And lastly, and it's also a very important tool for inclusion. So I hope that I gave a bit of an overview of Europass. I hope you're enthusiastic about the new Europass portal. We believe at European level in its potential. We know that there is still a lot of work to do, but we are happy. We're happy to do this, and we hope that together with the national level, we can make this a success and a tool supporting lifelong learning of everybody in Europe, where nobody is left behind. Thank you.